Almost 250 people died while homeless in Scotland last year. Stark figures which are being described as shameful. The number of people dying is broadly similar to last year, but significantly higher to when records began in 2017.
Deaths linked to alcohol were the highest on record, almost doubling from the previous year. The Scottish Government says it's making funding available to prevent homelessness. But with cold winter weather now upon us, charities say too many people are still dying on Scotland's streets. Here's Brandon Cook.
It's mid-afternoon, and inside the Glasgow City Mission, staff are first aid training. This charity helped tackle the root causes of homelessness. This is the last piece of learning before their overnight centre opens for the winter on Friday. There, they expect a stream of people coming out of the cold looking for a bed.
We expect a cold winter this year, and we anticipate that that's going to mean people out on the streets. So we want to provide a safe place where they can present, they can access support, and then ultimately end up in a bed that same evening, and then our team will pick them up the next day in order to continue that journey with them from the hostel to a home.
Doorways, tents, hostels or someone else's sofa is home for more than 30,000 people in Scotland. Figures released this morning show 244 of them died last year, a small reduction of 6 on 2021.
What is good is we haven't seen a big increase, so that's the only positive I would take. I mean, 244 people is just 244 too many. But most of the folks that we are dealing with are in temporary accommodation, and the issue is there's a bottleneck there. We can't get folks into housing.
Data shows Edinburgh had the highest rates of homelessness deaths per head of population last year. Just weeks ago, the capital declared a housing emergency. Across the country, the majority of people dying were men, with deaths due to alcohol the highest on record. These figures are the best estimates of the available data. They could be around 16 people higher or even 16 people lower. Nonetheless, charities say it's a source of collective shame, with around half of the people affected dying under the age of 45, and drug misuse accounting for 36% of all of these deaths.
So up here is underneath the railway bridge framing, where rough sleepers sleep at night.
The majority of homeless people don't sleep on the streets, but some who do sleep here. The Homeless Project Scotland say these flimsy bits of cardboard are mattresses for around 5 people. Today's figures don't come as a shock.
Very sadly, we were involved in one of the people that had died during rough sleeping, and the volunteers and the street team had found him in his spot where he was sleeping. When we're out in the streets, what we see is a lot of people who are cold, poorly, in doorways and suffering.
The Scottish Government says it provides over £30 million every year to prevent homelessness and is committed to ensuring that no one becomes homeless in the first place. Brandon Cook, STV News, Glasgow.